the drums with all the strength he had, hitting and hitting and hitting, but nothing happened. No sound was heard, leaving everyone in confusion. What could be the problem? A very long time ago, a young boy named Kojo lived in a distant village called Akrufo, predominantly known as a farming community famous for its production of rice, gari, cassava, and okra. Kojo was fascinated by the ancient art of drumming. His father, Mawuli, was a fantastic drummer and was known as a master drummer, a master of rhythm and storytelling. And Kojo watched his father with so much admiration. Mawuli was the village's favorite entertainer, his hands seemingly blessed to command the drum with ease. The drum, also known as the atumpan, was a special type of Asante talking drum. When played in pairs, it acted as a messenger, carrying messages from people to people, no matter where they were. Mauli's skills were so remarkable that whenever he played, the music seemed to float effortlessly from person to person. His gentle yet powerful melodies spun captivating stories, creating vivid images for all who listened to him. It was said that Mauli's performance could heal troubled hearts. It had this soothing, trance-like effect, making you feel all sorts of emotion. Kojo grew up observing his father's skills, his father's skilled hands with keen attention, memorizing every detailed pattern. He yearned to play the drum, yet Mawuli, his father, never allowed him to. You see, the thing is, although the drums had passed down for centuries from generation to generation, there was an exception to how it was played. The drums chose the players. The drums only chose to be played by people they felt were worthy. So despite Kojo's intense longing to play the drums, he never laid a hand on them, just like his father's father had decreed and his father before him. Whenever Kojo practiced on other surfaces like the floor or even on his bed, it never sounded the same. It made him grow even more impatient, wondering when he would get the chance to truly prove himself worthy of playing the bits of his heart. One bright afternoon, as Kojo sat with his friends having very random conversations, he caught sight of Mame, the most beautiful girl he had ever seen in his village. He couldn't take his eyes off her. He was mesmerized, taken aback. He started to ponder how he could impress this girl and make her his. He decided to confide in his friends, but they chuckled and made jest of him, telling him that the only way to impress her was if he played the drums, showing his drumming skills. This was terrible advice, and Kojo knew, but he wasn't thinking. All he wanted to do was impress this girl, so he decided to wait for the perfect opportunity. One evening, when his father's back was turned, he stole the talking drum and ran off to prove his love to Mame by the spring, where she sat with her friends along with his own friends who anticipated this grand gesture. Feeling all eyes on him, wanting to grab everyone's attention, he took a deep breath and smiled at Mame as she stared back at him in confusion. He His palms were sweaty from anxiety building up. It didn't need to be complicated. All he needed to do was do exactly what he watched his father do. But as he placed the drumsticks on the drum and hit it for the very first time, nothing happened. He blamed the nerves for messing with his mind as he tried again. But same thing happened. Absolute silence. He continued to hit the drums with all the strength he had, hitting and hitting and hitting, but nothing happened. No sound was heard, leaving everyone in confusion. What could be the problem? Kojo stood embarrassed in front of everyone, especially Mame, who at this point watched with amusement and sympathy. Heartbroken, Kojo returned the drum to its place, his ego shattered. Kojo's father's voice kept ringing in his mind on his way home, reminding him of the need to let the drum deem him worthy. The drum is not just an instrument, my son. It is a teacher. It teaches us about timing and the importance of waiting for the right moment to make our mark. Remember, the sweetest fruit is the one that ripens naturally. Mastery of the drum, like many things in life, requires patience. These words continued to ring on his mind as he walked home. Many moons later, a stranger arrived, a tall man draped in colorful robes. His eyes gleamed with mystery. On his shoulder, he had a talking drum, similar to what Mawuli had. The villagers whispered that he was Kwesi, a wandering griot, a traveling poet and a storyteller who traveled from village to village. Kojo and his father Mawuli initially welcomed this stranger. Intrigued by his drumming ability, he was just as good as Mawuli. While Mawuli's drum had a soothing trance-like effect, Kwesi's drum could be described as powerful and captivating, with a dynamic and compelling rhythm. His drum energized the villagers, prompting them to stand on their feet and dance away their sorrows. However, Mawuli's perception changed when Kwesi began exploiting the villagers, exchanging his drumming skills and entertainment for pound shillings and other material things. Mawuli was deeply troubled by Kwesi's actions and decided to confront him, urging him to stop taking advantage of his people. Their heated exchange escalated when Kwesi challenged him to a duel to determine who truly possessed the power to heal people and who was the superior drummer. The stakes were high. The loser would be forced to leave the village forever. It was pitch black, with just the moon as a source of lighting hanging low, casting shadows on the dusty ground. The two drummers faced each other, Mawuli on one side, Kwesi on the other, and soon the battle began. A thunderous rhythm was heard all through the village. The villagers were in awe, swayed by this beautiful orchestra in front of them. The stakes of this battle was so high for Kojo and his father. Losing was simply not an option. Kwesi's sound was loud. It was thunderous. But Mawuli's response was softer and even more melodic. His drum whispered tales of his ancestors, of battles fought, lost and won. The sound of the evening breeze was a paid performer, as the sizzling added to the orchestra of drums and birds chirping, hovering over this display, giving their approval. Kojo watched this battle, torn between loyalty to his father and awe for this stranger's skill. As the drumming intensified, Mawuli began to lose his ground against Kwesi's relentless grit. His drumming got louder and louder, more overpowering, drowning out every other sound. Kojo watched with great concern as his father struggled to maintain his footing. Soon, Mawuli's drumming became barely audible, overshadowed by Kwesi's beats. With a very heavy heart, Mawuli accepted defeat, acknowledging Kwesi as the winner.